The eldership initiation at Kamunyu village. In the heart of the lush highlands of Kiambu, the village of Kamunyu lay nestled between rolling hills and dense forests. The air was crisp, and the scent of earth mixed with the sweet aroma of blooming jacarandas. It was a special day, one that came once in a generation. The eldership initiation ceremony, Kiyama Kia Athuri, where selected men would be initiated into the Council of Elders, marking them as the guardians of tradition, law, and wisdom in the Kikuyu community. The ceremony was to be led by the council chairman Mugambi, a tall, stern man known for his wisdom and unwavering sense of justice. He had gathered the council to discuss the initiation of a new batch of elders, all of whom had reached the necessary age and status in the community. Kahiro Wamuturi, the council's secretary, was busy noting down the names of the men who would undergo the sacred initiation. Kahiro was a meticulous man, his sharp eyes constantly scanning over his papers as he recorded every detail. Beside him sat Minja, the treasurer, a man of fewer words but profound understanding of Kikuyu rituals and the significance of every item and expense involved in the process. The other members of the council included much respected elders, each with a different role to play in the ceremony. There was Teso, the storyteller, Machohi, the farmer, Kariuki, the hunter, Njoragi, the blacksmith, Ngitungi, the merchant, Kamuthi, the healer, Wandorongo, the herdsman, and Miruri, the keeper of sacred lore. All of them sat in a circle under the shade of a giant mugumo tree, a sacred tree in Kikuyu tradition, as they prepared for the long-awaited ceremony. Mugambi raised his hand, calling for silence. "The time has come," he announced in his deep, authoritative voice. "Today, we initiate our new elders. They have been tested by life, proven their strength, and shown wisdom in their actions. Today, they will join us in guiding our people." The village of Kamunyu was bustling with life as men, women, and children prepared for the festivities. At the center of it all stood a ceremonial fire, where sacrifices of a white goat and pure grains would be offered to Nai, the Kikuyu god. The men to be initiated stood at the edge of the gathering, their faces solemn. They knew this was no ordinary rite. Once inducted, they would bear the responsibility of guiding their people through decisions that affected everything from farming to war, from peace to judgment. Kahiro Wamuturi stood to read out the names of the initiates. His voice echoed across the clearing. "We welcome the following men to the Kiyama Kia Athuri," he began, calling the names one by one. The moment each man stepped forward, Minja would hand them a symbolic item, a staff, a cloak, and a gourd of traditional beer. These were not mere objects, but representations of the authority, wisdom, and the sustenance they would bring to the community. After the formalities, the real test began. The initiates were led into the sacred grove, where the older elders would impart secret knowledge, the stories and teachings passed down through generations. This process would take the entire night, under the guidance of the council members. The air was thick with the sounds of night creatures, but the grove was illuminated by small fires and the rhythmic chants of the elders. Teso, the storyteller, stepped forward first. He recounted the history of the Kikuyu people, reminding the initiates of their duty to maintain peace and justice. Machohi, the farmer, instructed them on the importance of the land, how it was not just to be tilled, but respected as the lifeblood of the community. Kariuki, the hunter, spoke of courage and the need to protect the village from external threats. Then came Nyoroge, the blacksmith, who explained the power of creation, forging not only tools but the will of the people. Ngitung, the merchant, emphasized the value of trade and economic wisdom, and Kamati, the healer, spoke of the balance between the physical and spiritual health of the community. Wandorongo, the herdsman, described the delicate care of the livestock, and Miruri, the keeper of lore, shared the sacred chants and songs that would be used to call upon the ancestors and the gods. As dawn approached, the initiates were brought back to the village, their faces illuminated by the first rays of sunlight. The final act was performed by Mugambi himself. He stood before the newly inducted elders, raising his staff high into the air. "You are now one with the Kiyama Kia Athuri," he declared. "May you uphold the honor of our people and lead with wisdom." The crowd erupted into cheers as the new elders joined the ranks of those who had come before them. They were no longer just men. They were custodians of tradition, responsible for the well-being of the entire community. The day ended with a grand feast, meat roasted over open flames, tread